What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. The 30th of May here, guys. We're taking a look here at Turbo cryptocurrency. This meme coin has went on a phenomenal, huge run. It may not be over, but finally, we're getting a little bit of a pullback here. Welcome to the channel, guys. All the new subscribers. Appreciate you guys. Currently, Turbo is down 17.46%. We had a down day yesterday, down 22.93%. We haven't seen two red days in Turbo in a couple weeks, to say that. So the price, this is the OKX chart, the daily chart. The price just about got up to 98.491. So we didn't quite get up to that 1 cent level, but boy, did we get close. Finally put in a lower high yesterday, and then another lower high and a lower low today. So the question is, where does this thing pull back? I saw a viewer in the comments this morning actually say something like, oh, when it gets above 1 cent, it'll take off like a rocket. Hey, I don't have anything to argue against that. I don't know what your thought is on that. Maybe it's just what you think. Hey, more power to you. Hopefully it happens. But right now we're getting a pullback. So we also almost made it up to the fib level, the 2.618 Fibonacci level at 0.0100947. So that is an area to look for some resistance. We didn't quite get there, but boy, did we get close. The question probably a lot of you guys have, where does it pull back to? Is the pump over? Where does it find support? Probably a lot of things going through your head, especially if you bought above the current price, which is at, let's see here, 59,652. So we are down quite a bit from the highs. Let's see what that looks like. So the price is currently down about 40% from the highs in 2 days, 3 days. Well, an obvious spot of support, okay? Now, keep in mind that this thing is not following any traditional charting rules that I use for all my other charts, the stock market, all the stocks, the futures, the indexes. It's not following those rules. If it followed those rules, it would have had a price resistance area up there at 20232.002. It wasn't even phased by it. It also wasn't even phased by my 15765 level. It just blew completely past all of those. Now, does it come back to those? We'll see. That's possible. We'll see, though. It's pretty far down there. But realistically here, and then for starters, since it's higher than the 20232 level, is the 1618 fib level at 0.003. Potential area of support there at 0.003926. That's the 1618 Fibonacci level. So that's an area to look for price support as we pull back here. And the fibs are based off the high and the low of this most recent consolidation before that consolidation broke out. So that's what the fib numbers are based on. Potential area of support is actually right in here. So we have these 3 candles, one, the 24th, 5th, and 6th. That was a slight sideways consolidation, if you want to call it that. It was a slight pause, put it that way, and it was more like the pause was just on the 25th. So, if the price pulls back to like the 444 area and finds support, okay, I'll give it that. It's, again, this thing is not following any rules, but it's I'll give it a shot here and talk about it here on the channel. But realistically, the 1618 is kind of your first area if you're going to go off anything to find some support. That's at 0.0300926. Now, I don't want to ignore my price level here at 0.002023. It's an important area, and it does It does mean something. Whether the price gets back to there, I'm not sure. I wouldn't be surprised, but we'll see. We'll see if this selling here picks up any momentum. If it starts to go a little bit deeper, investors who bought higher will start to sell off some of their positions, and then maybe all of their positions. And who knows? We'll see. A real solid area of support. It's not too far from my 15765. It's right up here, basically, where we broke out here. So that would be a price level of roughly, let's see, 148. So old resistance, which took place over here on the 10th. Once again, over here on the 17th, can get flipped into support. So just basic TA, the price can come back down to that old breakout zone and turn it into a support area. Also keep in mind, this thing has done a 70 to basically 90% pullback from the highs previously on the chart. If that took place, a 70% pullback takes you just about to the 1618 fib level. So keep that in mind, guys, right here, the 1618 fib would be a 70% pullback from the highs. If we go a little bit further, we have an 80% pullback, takes you back to my level at 200232. That's interesting. 70 to 90% is what the chart's done in the past on its pullbacks from its all-time highs. And then a 90% pullback is going to put you right about, let's see here, as things continues to drop. 90% pullback puts you down to actually one of my levels, which is 9555.0009 right there. That puts you a 90% pullback. So 70 to 90% pullback is what Turbo has done in the past off of its previous all-time highs after a massive, massive pump. And to say the least, this thing has went on a absolute tear. Definitely, judging by the comments, assuming people are honest, it's made some people a ton of money, a huge percentage return. And, hopefully that all works out for you guys. That is why I love the markets. The opportunity is absolutely insane in all the markets, the stock market, the cryptocurrency market. If you can turn a positive return in the market consistently compounded, it's a powerful thing. So from basically the 1st of May, so in 30 days, we are currently up 1,200% here on Turbo in 30 days. From the all-time highs, which would have been, let's see here, 28 or so days, 1,300. It's actually a little higher than that, guys. 1,900% Turbo has run in about 28 or so days. So a month, 1,900%, almost 2,000%. Wow, incredible. And then where it's sitting at right now from that higher low, you're at 1,200 or so percent. The higher low being right here on the 1st of May. That's what I was measuring off of here, 1st of May. So that's pretty much just a couple things I wanted to talk about here as we're finally starting to see some selling. I was talking about it basically around my 202 level. Like, this thing has already went on a huge run. I mean, let's see what that would have been like to those highs. 500% gain, and then it basically went up another, 500 plus percent from there. Actually well over that. And I said, look, markets are not sustainable. Markets that go parabolic, they go straight up, right? They can't hold that for very long. They can do that for a couple days. They can make massive, massive runs to the upside, but usually they will be brought back down. It's not sustainable. Also, basing structures, which is what this is right here. Basing structures is It's a bunch of potential energy. It's a bunch of energy that's built up here. Okay. And this energy will get released. And it got released to the upside. This is a bullish pattern. That's why it got released to the upside. That's all these markets do. They go from periods of consolidation to periods of expansion. Periods of consolidation, periods of expansion. We just went through a huge period of expansion. Now, is it over? It could be over for a couple days. We don't know. If this thing starts to turn around here and find support and rally up, it's obviously not over. But let's, a 2,000% move to the upside. If it's over, I wouldn't be surprised. That's massive. And then we know based on history of the turbo chart that a pullback to 70 to 90% is possible. It's very possible. It's what it's done in the past. So if it did it again, I wouldn't be surprised. Not being a hater, not trying to scare anybody out of their positions, but you should always know your risks before going into a trade or an investment or whatever you want to call it. So hopefully it continues to rise, but realistically, a 2,000% move in basically a month, maybe it consolidates for a couple of days here. Maybe it finds some support at the 4.4 level and then continues up. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. It's interesting. It's definitely picking up a lot of attention. The market cap is growing. It's growing huge. We'll see how far it comes back. We'll see how far it pulls back. But I would be watching, okay? By the way, I don't hold turbo, so I don't have any, I'm just talking about turbo here. 444, pretty much the first level I'd be looking for a support area. We'll see if it holds. Obviously, we're not there yet. The next level would be the 1618 fib level. That's at 0.003. That's another support area. Next support area would be my level at 0.002. If that fails, 0.001. 5765. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 areas you can keep an eye on if price even gets back down that far. Above the market, if you think turbo is going to continue to rise here, obviously we have to get above the 2618. That's basically at 1 cent. 1 cent. And then above that is, if you're going to use the fib levels, the 3618 is at 0.0329. That's a 3 cent turbo if it gets up there. Guys, thanks for watching. Good luck out there. Hopefully you're doing well here or have already done well here on turbo. I can tell you one thing. When markets move in the direction that will benefit your account. So if you're long, you want the market to go higher. If you're short, you want the market to go lower. If you make a big gain in that account, an unexpected big gain, I can tell you that it hurts a lot less to take some profits off the table, okay, and then have it continue to move in your direction. And then you could have said, oh, I could have made X amount more money. At the end of the day, you still made, a lot of money or a big return compared to watching it going all the way down to break even and then actually turning into a loss, depending on where you got in. So there's something to keep in mind. Not financial advice, guys. Please make your own financial decisions. You guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Good luck out there. Hopefully you're having a good time here on the channel with Turbo, Aerodrome, Pangolin, Arcblock, all kinds of stuff we've been covering recently. Catch you guys in the next one.